comic writer Gail Simone released her first ever novel yesterday on Amazon and everywhere else. It came from Orbit, which is a part of Hachette Publishing, and it's a fantasy novel of Red Sonja called Red Sonja Consumed. Well, they did the thing where they tried to make it look like a modern romantasy book. And gosh, I guess I have to explain all this stuff for like the non-readers out there. It's basically the genre and publishing. If you've been to a bookstore in the last, 5 years, they try to make all the fantasy books look like romance books. And a lot of the books are no longer like swashbuckling fantasy where it's like, they used to be like, the Dark Lord is coming and you better save your village and go fight him. Now it's like a strong female lead met a werewolf and she's in love with him, but she's also in love with the vampire. And every book's that. And it came from the YA genre's success in the mid-2000s with like Twilight and who's the other one? Cassandra Clare and Divergent and those type of books. Because those did really, really well with middle-aged women, and because middle-aged women just want romance books, really. And so they added a fantasy element to it, and it just like it went through the roof. So then every fantasy book became that. And with it, every fantasy book started aping romance covers, which, again, with something like Red Sonja, is just a very, very bad idea for the property, and it doesn't seem to be going too well at this juncture. So we're going to get into the news in just a moment and talk about Red Sonja's release here with Gail Simone. This is her first book release ever, which I was shocked about to learn too. Smash that like and subscribe button. Join us here. And, of course, follow my Fandom Pulse Substack where we're writing the news of the day. That's in the description as well. I want to alert you to some fantasy. And cool, we got the #1 bestseller back. For Steam and Country, a steampunk fantasy adventure. This is my series, which is just swashbuckling romance. Not romance. I'll fix that in edit, guys. It's swashbuckling fantasy. So this is like an airship crew that goes out and does battle, has to fight against an evil empire, of course, overcomes the odds, and the world builds so nicely over these books that you'll love this. It is exactly what fantasy should be, and you'll enjoy this, and please check it out in the description below. It's a 6-book series. I think it builds up, like, I think I'm most proud of book 3, which is The Fight for Rislandia. That book is like an all-out, like a knockdown, drag-out war book. And it really amplifies that first trilogy. Now, get all 6 books on ebook, print, and audio. It's in the description below, my friends. And thank you so much. If you like the old Final Fantasies, it's definitely modeled after that quite a bit. And we have a big video game influence here, of course. And yes, thank you guys so much for supporting our books and making us a success. So you can see right here, you can tell what this is right here. And what did I do? I put a pretty girl on the cover because that sells. And this is why I've sold over 30,000 copies of this book to date. But you can tell she's got the cape, she's got the sword, she's got the goggles. This is going to be an airship fantasy. You can tell right away what it is. You got kind of the airship sort of motifs going in the background there. What you're getting into with the character. Now, and that's why I think it sold well. I think this book cover really did a lot for me. Now, you get into Red Sonja. There's no Red Sonja here. You got the big name on the title, but you got a photoshopped sword with like a little bit of red hair on here. And this is a bummer because it's like, this doesn't look like what you'd expect of a Red Sonja like cover. And even in recent years when they've tried to cover her up, I mean, of course, she was known for her bikini chainmail thing, which is why she's popular. That's the entire point of it. Even with the attempts to kind of cover her up here and not do that quite as much, you can see this is what the comics typically look like, and this is why it garners some sales sometimes. You get the pretty redhead on the cover, and she's got her sword. That's what people want out of Red Sonja. It's very simple. Now, she was made in the 1970s as a foil for Conan and spun out into her own series. They even hired Frank Thorne as the artist for the main book, and Frank Thorne was known for his just like really sexy females. That was his entire deal. And of course, they've wanted to veer away from that in recent years with what they're doing, because they want to make everything into a woman's property and feminist and women for women. And so it actually started. Gail Simone actually did a long run on the comics, which was not bad, by the way. I enjoyed it and I liked it. But she did put in some of that subversion where they're trying to actually just get rid of the character traits that made the character. And lots of jokes about the bikini armor in there to try to mitigate it for the audiences, which didn't need to be done. I mean, it was clearly just knocking the design, which, again, the design is awesome. That's why everybody likes Red Sonja. And then on top of that, like, she tried to change the backstory. I don't mind this that much, but the original backstory had her a victim of some abuse. And Gail kind of retconned that away in what she was doing because she didn't want that as a part of the character. That one I forgive a lot more than trying to get rid of the chainmail armor, which is, again, the whole point of this is something for really men to enjoy. This is not a female for female characters, and it's fine to have that, but this is not what Red Sonja is. So they're clearly trying to change it with their cover here, where they don't even feature the character on the cover. That's pretty wild right here. And there's some weird things on the Amazon page I'm going to get into in just a moment too, which is like, this is fishy. And I'll talk to you about that. But if you look, Kursova Magazine, a wonderful fantasy series, and they really do swashbuckling adventure as well. They're somebody worth checking out. Once you get my books, definitely get into the Kursova Magazine. It's amazing. And their editor posted on this, did they really put a generic photo composite stock art sword cover on a Red Sonja book? And when it went into the comments, he actually, unfortunately, he quote tweeted a retailer, and the retailer just got savaged in the comments, and it's not their fault. Pretty funny. But if you went into the comments of this, just everybody was knocking this cover, saying this is not a Red Sonja cover. This is not doing well. This is stupid. What are they doing? And it's very, very clear they made a huge mistake by doing this. Like, of course, Orbit Books wanted to just follow those trends for the bookstore, crowd that like is the women facing groups. And a Red Sonja, again, like most people who read a Robert E. Howard spinoff character, are going to be men. I mean, it just is, they're just not hitting their target demographic, very sadly, and that's what it is. So somebody actually in the comments made a better cover, and even with, again, covering her up and whatever, not making her bikini armor, even if they wanted to go that route with it, this would have been way better. I mean, look at this. This is pretty badass. And he just did this in 5 seconds with AI art. And again, oops, this is a mistake to have gone with this kind of thing. And it just shows the trends in publishing, in mainstream publishing, even down to the cover art, are just a disaster. And this is why mainstream publishing's failing all the way around. One, they don't have any fantasy for men anymore. They don't have any fantasy that, are for both sexes anymore. It's all geared towards that wine ant audience, like I said. And on top of this, they can't even get the covers to look compelling. This is very compelling right here with just some AI. And it's absolutely crazy that that's doable to make something better than a professional outlet could do. Very, very odd on this front. And I do think it's impacting sales quite a bit. So they have, interesting, they have Felicia Day reading the audiobook version of it. You want to go back to again, these people are just stuck in 15 years ago. Felicia Day might have helped and gotten things going 10 years ago when she was doing that tabletop show with Will Wheaton, and they tried to make her into this big influencer. She's really just disappeared. Wild choice on that, and I'm sure she cost a bundle to do too. And then on top of this, you've got John Scalzi, who again hasn't been relevant in several years, as their big top of the top. This is what they lead with. John Scalzi and Felicia Day say it's awesome, and Felicia Day again worked on the book, so of course she's going to say it's awesome. There it is. I don't know. I actually, like I said, I enjoyed Gail Simone's writing on the Red Sonja comic edition. I don't know if I'm going to check this out. I might grab the audiobook just because I drive a lot. But again, there's a lot of good books I really want to check out before this, so I don't know. But it is her first novel, and she's a competent writer, so I'm not down on the book itself, but I do think they screwed up on the marketing, the presentation, to try to chase an audience that's not there, and this is a problem for books in general. Now, you can look at this, And we go down to the sales as a result. And where are we? Now, this doesn't look bad being number 7,000 in the Kindle store. But we're on day 2 at this point, and it's number 184 in Sword and Sorcery Fantasy ebooks. So we're not even cracking the top 200 on day 2. And day 1 yesterday, it was peaking at 10,000, so it's actually bumped a little since I was looking at it yesterday. But when I release a book 1 of a series, it's usually up into the number 1,000s in the store, and I don't have nearly as big of a following as Gail Simone. I don't have nearly as big of a... There's a media push. Everybody in the comic industry is retweeting this. This is not good sales for this, which, like I said, all because of the marketing, all because of what they did right there. Gail Simone having had history with Red Sonja, a good match for a writer for it. It would make sense. But I really just think they botched this on the basic marketing level because of what they were doing with the cover, and that just turns people off. So yikes, they screwed up on a big level, because with somebody with Gail Simone's reach, again, you'd expect her to sell way better than like a new release for one of my fantasy or sci-fi books, but it's not, and that's crazy. So part of it here is a couple things too. Number two, $14.99 for a Kindle ebook is insanity. I mean, that is wild. I put mine at $4.99 for a reason, which is to get people invested and be at a easy buy-in. Make it easy for you. I think I even have I've got this one at $3.99 just because it's book 1. And I just assume that you'll read through to book 2 and book 3, which are, just epic. But by that point, you get 3 books for the same price as you get 1 book. So the big problem there, that's leading to sales problems as well. And number 3, they're tricking people here. So I covered this a little bit on my X yesterday when I talked about this, and you could follow me on X as well. I appreciate that. And let me find my post here. It is something weird's going on with this, because I saw this. It's funky. It says it has 208 Goodreads ratings. Then when you go to Goodreads, it's only 42 ratings. So this is it, and 3.38 stars. So not actually a great showing to start either. That you would want it over 4 stars typically, and they call it 4.1 here. Now, what happened was they actually linked the omnibus for Gail Simone's comic book on Goodreads to try to show like it's got a lot of ratings and like it's got a lot of like really good reviews. And as you can see, it doesn't even have Amazon reviews on the book. Like, you don't even have the ability to look at it or see it, right? If you look at my book again, this is every book on Amazon has this right here. Here's the ratings, and you can go click on it, and it shows exactly in the description below. I got a 4.3 stars, doing pretty well. 3.8 on Goodreads. I had some angry leftists in there leave 1-star reviews. That happens because they don't like my YouTube channel. But on this, you could see no Amazon ratings even available. I've never seen this happen for a book before. So it's the publishing industry is clearly colluding to try to not allow people to comment on this. And maybe we'll go to Goodreads and check this out while we're here on the video. Red Sonja consumed Goodreads, and gosh, weird. What's going on with this? Why would they be trying to hide this? Now, they got a couple more ratings over the course of this. And thank you to Orbit Books. They got a advanced review. So again, person did not even buy the book, but it's not liked by the female reviewer that they wanted to give this. I don't know why they wouldn't give me a arc in front of this, because I'm the person who probably could be the biggest influencer to sell this book. Love-hate relationship with fantasy novels. You see, like, again, maybe they're just not doing a fantasy novel like it should be, like a swashbuckling adventure. I don't know. But not so good even on that. Straightforward, action-packed fantasy novel. I like that. That's good. Stereotype rather than a real person. Now, this is probably a good thing. Again, this is who they're marketing it to, because if that's the case, that's what Red Sonja is supposed to be. So I actually like that. And look, I received a copy of this book from the publisher. Anybody else say this? Let's see. This is a WordPress blog. It looks like another person who got it because of the publisher. NetGalley and Orbit for the arc. So all of these, oh my gosh, this one not good. stereotypical, nearly naked, bad manner. So again, who they're marketing to, and this is exactly what I thought, the woman book crowd is not the target demographic for this. They screwed up so bad, and these women saying this actually are making me want to read it. But wrong on the cover. You guys screwed up on that. Wrong on the influencers that you were trying to get to promote this book, because you were trying to get swashbuckling fantasy readers who are interested in Red Sonja and comic book readers who love action to promote this to get sales. And that's what you should have done. That's why you should have come to this channel, Orbit. I know that it's not politically the right thing to do, but gosh, with these bad reviews from these women, I think I am going to grab the audiobook at this point and check it out because it sounds excellent. All right, so this is a marketing fail 101. I hope this was useful for you as an author or as a reader to kind of see what the fantasy trends are. Crazy stuff. Please subscribe to my Substack as I write this stuff up every day. And do check out my fantasy series right here. And it is wonderful. This is swashbuckling, action-packed adventure, exactly like you want as real fantasy readers. And that's why we're selling very well and have great reviews on Amazon. We appreciate you for being there. It'll be in the description below in ebook, print, and audio. Hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.